Hello students, what's up? In this example, we will be learning how to plot a cubic graph and using the graph how to identify the nature of the roots. By looking at the example, it doesn't feel that we have to do it by graph, but this type of question are done by graph. Let me explain you how. First, you analyze the sign. It is nothing but it is a multiplication sigma, which is when I is equal to 1 you have to write x minus a1 multiplied by x minus a2 x minus a3. This how this sign works. In this sigma, we all know that we just have to change the value of I. We'll put first 1, so this will be a1, then it will be a2, and then it will be a3. This is the upper limit of it. Now finally 3x is there, right? The question is fx equal to 0. The roots of this equation are only one distinct root and exactly two distinct. These are the options we have. This is a relevant question for the IIT JEE, most likely to ask in the upcoming IIT exam type of question. Here a very important condition is given, that AI is less than AI plus 1. So when I is equal to 1, so it indicates that a1 is less than a1 plus 1, that is 2. And similarly, when I is equal to 2, this will become a3 and this will become a2. So a2 3 will be greater than a2. This is the condition it is talking about. Now if we analyze this question, so fx, if we put x equal to a1, so what we will get, a1 minus a1 will be 0 and into anything is 0, so we will get a1 plus a2 plus a3 minus 3a1, as we have put x equal to a1 here in this equation, f of a1. So that will become minus 2a1 plus a2 plus a3, correct? From this equation we can see that a3 is greater than a1 and as well as a2 is also greater than a1. If we add them, a2 plus a3 is greater than 2a1. So we find out that this term is greater than this term, so this term would be positive. This term will be positive. Hence we can say that f of a1 is positive. Similarly, if we put x equal to a2, we will not find anything. You can try by putting x equal to a2. This term will become 0, a1 plus a2 plus a3 minus 3a2. You will not able to determine whether it's positive or negative, but if we put, you can try that by your own self, but if you put f is equal to a3, you will find out something relevant from it. So the question will become, you have put x equal to a3 in this equation, right? So a3 minus a3 is 0 into anything is 0, a1 plus a2 plus a3 minus 3a3, correct? And this will be equal to a1 plus a2 minus 2a3. By similar story, we can easily prove that a1 plus a2 are less than 2a3, because as a1 is less than a3 and a2 is less than a3, correct? If we add them, then 2a3 is greater than a1 plus a2, so a1 plus a2 are lesser than 2a3. So what we can conclude, that f of a3 is negative, as this term is smaller and this term is greater in value, in magnitude, and there is a minus sign between them. So we can easily conclude that f of a3 is negative. From this information we can draw a rough graph. let the term be this point be a1 and this point be a2 and this point be a3. So what we have find out that f of a1 is positive, so this point will be something here. F of a1 is positive. F of a1 is nothing but the value of y, a1 comma f of a1. If I simplify it, as f of a1 is positive, this point will be above the x-axis. Similarly, what we have found that f of a3 is negative, this point will be below the x-axis. So we can roughly draw a graph, that the graph will be something like this. We don't know about the a2, correct? Something like this. a2 might be positive or might be negative, but it will not make a difference, because from positive to negative the graph will intersect the x-axis at once only. So as we know the nature of the cubic graph, if we see that when x is tending to infinity, x into x will be x cube, then x cube will tend to infinity. We can say that fx is also tending to infinity. But when x is tending to minus infinity, the leading coefficient of x cube is positive. X into x is into x cube. So when we put x minus infinity, then we can conclude that fx is tending to minus infinity. So that was quite understood that when x is tending to minus infinity, the graph is coming from the minus infinity, and when x is tending to plus infinity, the graph is going upward like that. So we can say that there will be three real roots, right? We can conclude from this graph there will be three real roots. So the option C would be correct. This is a special type of question which can be done easily with the help of graph, and it is advisable to approach this question in this manner also to save time, and relevant question for the IIT JEE, as well as it may happen to occur in Olympiads also. I hope you found this useful. Thank you.